to be cutting the rear fenders now because I have the coilovers ordered, so I'm going to get it ready for wheels and tires. So I cut the rear on the driver's side. What I did was I rivet them in because it's really strong when you rivet it instead of using a soft tapper or leaving it empty like I've seen a lot of people do with different kind of builds. So riveting is definitely better. It keeps them nice and strong. Hopefully didn't bend too much of my body right here because look at that, it doesn't even flex. It's like solid. That's what I wanted because on the FRS when I left it, it was wobbling a lot, so I did a little bit of tech welding as well as self-tappers. But this one, since I have a welder, I'm just doing rivets, and it's actually much nicer. So I still have to silicone this, then spray over it, then add another layer of sealant, and then spray it again, and then it's going to be nice and clean. So you won't even see this like jank. One side's done. Don't mind the jank silicone. I'm still waiting for it to dry. Then I'm going to kind of like sand it off a little bit to make it smoother. Those are the holes I filled in so they don't really rust because that side started rusting already, so I kind of closed them up. But yeah, that's about it. So the fender is on, and as you can see, well, you actually can't see it. You can't see anywhere where I cut it and where the silicone sits. And when I get 19-inch wheels, lower it more, it's probably going to tuck. I'm hoping to tuck a little bit, but you basically can't see it unless you stand like right here, then you start to see it. But that's because it's not painted yet underneath. Once it's painted black, you won't see it. But yeah, it's really cool. Came out really good. Now I just gotta do the passenger side, but as you can see, the car can go very low now. And it's not gonna rub or anything. You don't see any of the outer wheel well anymore, just like the flare. Just when you stand here, like I mentioned, because it still has to be painted black because the white just pops through. But damn, I'm super happy with it. Like, look at that. So nice. This side came out a little bit better because now I knew how much to cut, even though this one has the gas cap. But still have to cut the gas cap so it opens up. But everything's pretty much good. It's coming out really good. The wheel well looks more open. Now the only thing to do is just finish the rivets like I mentioned, put on the silicone and then the rear bumper. And it's going to dry for about a few days. This silicone is waterproof, so with rain and all that, it's not going to damage it or like break it apart. So that's why I'm doing it with the silicone. Once it's all done and dry and I get my ECU back from Revmatch.Motorsport with the new tune, I'm gonna take it out to a shop, have the exhaust done, and then I'm gonna start bondoing it so I can get it ready for paint. But the car's pretty much done. Once I finish this, and basically I can bolt everything back up and start doing bondoing. So yeah, pretty much fitting the kit on is done. It's just bondo and paint now, and I'm super stoked for it because it's coming out really good. And now this side's done. Don't mind the silicone on the tire, it's gonna come off hopefully after driving, but I'm not running these wheels anymore, so it doesn't matter. They're just going to be my drift spares. I'm pretty sure they're the same all over. It's a square setup, but they're going to be my drift spares. But yeah, finished sealing this one. Also came out really good. Can't really see it, so yeah, unless you start turning here and there. But yeah, once the car's lowered, it's going to look so good. She's basically ready to be lowered with new wheels. Silicone's gonna be nice and dry, and I can actually put the new wheels and tires on. I did order suspension, but it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to come in because they're special made. They are case sport slide control coilovers, so they're made to order. They're going to be extremely stiff, I'm pretty sure, but they're going to be super fun to drift on, so I'm super hyped about that. Also, the wheels I was going to order, they're not on back order, but Fitment Industries, they're not accepting any new orders until the 19th. I really want to start molding the rear, because the front you don't have to mold. It's already like, it's a whole fender that you slap over. You just have to bond up some areas that aren't perfect, that have a little bit of imperfections and stuff. But I just really want to bond up the rear, fix the gap in the bumper with a little plate, and get this car paint ready, because I really want to just have this car done and like drive the hell out of it. I really want to drive this car. But like I said, right now the car is not being driven because I don't have the new tune yet. Probably when this video is uploaded, I'll have a new tune already and the car will be driven. And I'll be starting a bondo process on it so I can start getting it ready for paint and sanding it. But for the moment, it's just sitting here. I'm going to be fixing the gap there as well. So yeah, just waiting. It's a waiting game right now, but super happy with how everything's coming out. I don't know if I mentioned my hood latches, but I finished them and they look super good. I got new emblems for the car. Yeah, it looks super good, super clean. It's going to match the car since the car is basically white and carbon fiber. Kind of matches it at the moment, but still got to figure out what kind of paint I'm going to go with. It's a beautiful day today. It's actually the next day after I cut the rears and sealed them up. So I'm going to show you what it looks like now. It's still drying, but actually dried really well. And as you can see, hopefully the camera can pick it up. And as you can see, it's all nicely sealed. No gaps, no nothing. Everything that was cut has been sealed up so it won't rust. I do have a little bit of silicone right here, but that's on the inside. You won't see. I'll clean it up later. Probably like sand it off or something, but it's on there really well. It's still kind of mushy because it still has to dry really well. The FRS took about 3 to 4 days to dry, but it wasn't that warm. It's actually pretty warm today, so it might actually dry completely. But yeah, as you guys can see, these are both the sides. They're nice and sealed up now. And as I mentioned before, sorry they're cutting grass, but as I mentioned before, like I should be able to go really low. I could probably even fit like a 20-inch tire now, or a 20-inch wheel, and I kind of want to because it's gonna look so sick. But at the same time, this is a track focused car, so it's kind of going to be stupid to run something so big. 18s is like ideal for track because it's lightweight, but I think I'm going to go with 19s. That way it still looks good and I can still take it to the track. But yeah, I kind of wish I was running 20s because the wheels I had on my M4, I would love to put them here. They looked amazing, and the way I built the car in the game has those wheels and it looks really good with those wheels, so I would love to do those, but they only come in 19 by 9.5, and I'm looking for at least 10.5 all around. I don't really want to run anything skinny because it will look super stupid when they poke out. Basically, like there'll be no tire on the inside. It's just gonna look stupid. You really don't want to run small tires or small wheels and tires on a wide body car. It's just gonna look really stupid. So I'm doing like 10.5 all around, and I'm hoping that it's going to be enough because I know some people run 11 to 12, but that's just too much. I feel like, I know 11s will not clear, like I would have to cut a lot from the side skirt itself so I can actually do a full radius turn, but even with 19s it might not be enough. I know with 18s it's actually going to be nice and plenty of room for the wheel to turn full lock, but I know on 19s it's kind of going to hit, so I'm hoping with 19s I can do some trimming and I can still do full lock, but I won't know for sure until I get the wheels. And like I mentioned with Fitment Industries, they're not taking any orders until the 19th, so I have to wait about 2 weeks to order. But the suspension I did order, since it's custom made, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to make. They're slide control coilovers by K-Sport, so they're actually like drift coils, which I'm super psyched for because I can't wait to slide this car when it's done. But for the mean part, I have everything on, so by the time the coilover comes in the wheels, I should have all the body panels molded and sanded down, ready for paint. I'll probably paint it before I even put the wheels on, but coilovers I'll probably do. But I just can't wait. The car is basically ready to be molded and painted, so I'm super happy for that. But that's it. It's kind of a quick video. It's just, I didn't really record it of me cutting the rears because I did it on the FRS. If you watched my videos before, it's pretty much the same thing. This one was a little bit more time consuming because it was much thicker metal, which is nicer because once I riveted them together, it was really nice and strong. So basically the car's not going to flex in the rear, like the fenders are not going to flex. Except, I don't know if I mentioned, I'm going to have to use a little bit more Bondo here, because as you can see it's not flush anymore like it was. But I can just push it down a bit. The only reason it's not flush anymore like it was is because when I used the rivets, the splices that I made kind of pushed the rear fender a little bit in right here, so it kind of like sunk in, but it's not too much. Like I mentioned, if I push this forward, it's like nice and flush still. It's just it was better before, and now it just has a tiny bit of gap. But like I mentioned, it is going to be molded, so I didn't really care if I was going to have a little bit of gap. I was more concerned about structural rigidity. As you can see, like this thing's freaking strong now. Before it was like, I don't even know, I should have probably recorded, like before it was just like flapping, and now after riveting it and sealing it, it's nice and strong again. So I really wanted that because I want this car to last. I don't want it to rust or anything, and even if it does rust, which I highly doubt it will because I used a lot of silicone that's waterproof and prevents it from rusting. So even if it does, I'll just cut it again, re-weld the new plates and whatever. Hopefully by that time I have a welder, and if I don't, I just take it to the shop. I'm pretty confident it won't rust, so I'm happy about that. Same with that, it's not going to rust because I sealed it up, painted it, sealed it, and I still have to put a little bit more silicone over here in the front, and it'll be pretty much rust proof. So yeah, that's it. Next video, definitely stay tuned. Next video is going to be pretty crazy. I think I'm going to be installing the new trunk lip. It's a CSL trunk. It still hasn't shipped yet. The dude told me 4 weeks, but it's about to be 4 weeks this week, so it should be in by the end of this week, I'm hoping, and if not, it's going to be by next week. But definitely stay tuned. There's a lot of cool things still coming. I still have a lot of parts to install, like the side markers that I don't think I've mentioned, and I still got a lot of other things on the interior that I'm gonna start doing, like changing it from silver or gray interior to all black, getting new seats, probably deleting the rear seats, getting a new steering wheel most likely, because I just don't like how mine's peeling already. But I do like the cruise control that I still have. But there's still plenty of things to come, so definitely subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.